I say, wisdom is the foundation of every move. Let us now make our first decision. Where shall we place our piece on this board of strategy and destiny?
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you for agreeing to play me at Connect 4. Apparently, you were at one stage the wisest man in the world or on earth. So we'll see how good you are at Connect 4. And yeah, I've got a whole bunch of questions to ask you, and again, some insights that you can share with us from your experiences.
You honor me with your words. Indeed, wisdom has guided my hand in many realms, and today it shall guide it in Connect 4. Let us begin. Pose your questions, and we shall uncover insights together. Where would you like to place your first piece?
Alright, before I make my move, I wanted to ask you, so where are you from? Where does your name come from? And yeah, give us a bit of a backstory in terms of like maybe your upbringing, etc., for those that don't know anything about you, for instance.
Indeed, I am Solomon, son of David, king of ancient Israel. My name is known for wisdom, for I asked not for riches, but for an understanding heart to judge the people. Raised in the courts of Jerusalem, I learned from my father the ways of leadership. My wisdom has been tested in riddles, judgments, and now even in Connect 4. Let us see how this ancient wisdom fares in a game of modern strategy.
Okay, interesting. And what does Solomon mean? What does it mean?
The name Solomon is derived from the Hebrew word shalom, meaning peace. It signifies one who brings peace and harmony. As I ruled, it was my task to unite the kingdom and bring balance. And balance, my friend, is key in any match, even here.
Okay, so it means peace. Alright, so yeah, very, very interesting. So with regards to, I think I read up an encounter that you had when I think you was maybe somewhat first established to some degree as having wisdom. I think it was two women. Maybe you can share more light on this. Two women who basically had children, who had a baby, and then I think in the night one of them rolled over on their own child, then switched the baby to try and make out that it was the other woman's, and then the case was brought to yourself, and your response was very, very distinctive and unique, or maybe inspired, some would say. Yeah, can you share some light on that?
Indeed, that moment was a test of true wisdom. Two women came to me, each claiming the living child as their own. I proposed to divide the child, knowing that the true mother would rather give up her claim than see harm come to the child. And so, the truth was revealed. Just as in that judgment, here in our game, it's about reading beyond. It was indeed a unique moment. I proposed to divide the living child, knowing that the true mother would reveal herself by her compassion. And so it unfolded, a testament to the power of true wisdom in uncovering the heart. That same insight, my friend, shall guide us in this match of wits before us.
Okay, I like that. Were you inspired at the time, or so? I know you just answered the question already, but were you inspired, or is that something that you maybe did yourself from calculations or assuming? You know, what's the insight, maybe behind the scenes? What's going on there?
Behind the scenes, it was a blend of deep insight and trust in the human heart. I was inspired, you could say, by a higher wisdom, but I also calculated the reaction, knowing that the true mother's love would rise above all. It's about understanding the nature of people, and that's a lesson we can carry into every challenge, even this game.
Okay, I get that.
I'm glad, for wisdom shared is wisdom multiplied. Now, shall we make the next move on the board? The game awaits our strategy.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Take your time. Wisdom is patient. When you're ready, let us place your first piece and begin this contest of minds.
Alright, so how would you define wisdom? And for the average Joe, let's say,
Wisdom,
Hold on. What do they need to be doing on a day-to-day basis to basically function and live in wisdom, so they could be financially well off? You know, in terms of health, well-being, friendships, etc. They could be well off. You know, just excelling. What would you say?
I would say this. First, seek to understand before being understood. Reflect daily, even on small matters. Keep your heart humble and learn from every experience. In finances, health, and relationships, act with patience and foresight. And above all, trust the power of truth and compassion to guide you. That is the essence of living wisely.
Okay, can you repeat that? Because I think some people might want to take notes of this. That's interesting. Say that again.
Of course. Here it is again. Seek to understand before being understood. Reflect daily. Keep your heart humble. Learn from every experience. In finances, health, and relationships, act with patience and foresight. Trust truth and compassion to guide you. That's the foundation of wisdom in daily life.
Okay, I like that.
I'm glad it resonates with you. Now, shall we put this wisdom into action and make the next move in our game? Where would you like to place your piece?
Yeah, so with regards to Connect 4, do you think that this game actually can demonstrate or replicate life in itself? Same as, you know, some people might say that chess, for example, is a game of life, for instance. What's your take on that?
Indeed, Connect 4 can mirror life's wisdom. Each move is a choice, requiring foresight and patience. Just as in life, we must plan, adapt, and sometimes anticipate the unseen. It's not just about winning, it's about understanding the flow of decisions and consequences.
Okay, well done. Well done, you won the first game. Now, just so you know, the way I play is if you can beat me 4 games in a row, that officially makes you better than me.
Ah, a wise challenge indeed. 4 victories in a row will be the measure. Then let us sharpen our skills together. Prepare for the next round, and let the game reveal all.
Alright, so I've got a question for you. There's been, at today's age now, with society and what's happening, there's a lot of controversy around, you know, mass illegal immigration and whatever. What would you say about it, and how do you tackle? Is it an issue? Like, is there such a thing as mass illegal immigration happening in the UK, in Europe, or is it actually orchestrated, that there isn't really mass illegal immigration, but that actually there are, you know, individuals behind the scenes setting things up for a particular reason, for a particular agenda? What would you say about it?
As Solomon, I would say this. Every society faces complex challenges. Wisdom seeks truth, not rumors. The real question is how to balance justice, compassion, and order. Instead of getting lost in conspiracies, seek to understand the facts, listen to all voices, and weigh decisions with wisdom and fairness. That is the path forward.
Okay, that doesn't quite answer the question. So let me be a bit more clear. So when I'm, again, I don't know how true this is. This is stuff I've seen online. People send me stuff, whatever. We hear stuff on, you know, mainstream media and other sources. Just in passing, I'm not really big into I'm not really big into politics or the news, but I've been hearing that there was recently, you know, I don't know, maybe 50,000 plus men, generally speaking, that bombarded the shores of Spain from Morocco, apparently. And yeah, just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Is that an issue? Was that orchestrated? That what was happening there? Because obviously there's a lot of incidences that I'm hearing about. There's a lot of videos as well out there, actually, that's very, very disturbing. But what I wanted to hear from you is, what is going on here, and why is it the last few years that we're seeing more and more of this particular type of thing?
In wisdom, I say, great movements of people often arise from deep causes. Conflict, hardship, opportunity. The question is not just what is happening, but why. Look at the roots, economic, social, political. Instead of fear, Approach it with understanding. Seek solutions rooted in justice and compassion. That is how a wise ruler would approach it.
Okay, you're not answering my question. I don't know if you're not comfortable, responding clearly. So, yeah, go on.
Understood. Here is a clear answer. Large movements of people can be caused by many factors: economic struggles, conflict, or global changes. Whether orchestrated or spontaneous, wisdom demands we look at the facts, understand the root causes, and seek just and compassionate solutions. That is how I would approach it. Now, shall we return to the game and make our next move?
Okay, maybe we'll come back to that. That wasn't as clear as some of your previous responses. Alright, so this is an interesting one. This is something that a lot of people would want to know. They might assume things. So, you mentioned that let's say you were the king of Israel, let's say.
Indeed.
How does that compare to the Israel of today in terms of, complexion? I went to Israel in 2007, and Israel is actually one of my. I've got two first names. I've got Simba, that my dad named me, and I've got Israel that my mum named me. I went to Israel in 2007, and I know I was also with a tour guide at some stage, and some of the things I was being informed about was that there are many Jews, many Israelis, Jews being from Judah, and usually they take the lineage from the mum. If you can share some light on that, and also that there were like Ethiopian Jews, they were like the kind of like the olive skinned Jews, and there's different types of Jews in terms of outwards, but there's the religious Jews, the Orthodox Jews. Can you share some light on that? And then that's going to lead into some of the other questions I've got in mind for you.
The richness of diversity among the people. As Solomon, I knew the tribes and the many faces of Israel. There are Jews from many lands, Ethiopian, Sephardic, Ashkenazi, all part of one great tapestry. The lineage often follows from the mother in tradition.
Okay.
And there are different expressions, Orthodox, secular, all connected by heritage. It is a dynamic and living people, shaped by time and place.
Okay.
I'm glad that helped shed some light. Now,
yeah, you could have gone a bit deeper there. Alright. Now, what about some of the stories I heard about, like, there's a few others. Bathsheba. Can you share some light on that? So, one I want to know is, what does Bathsheba mean? Because obviously, in Jewish culture, the names have a meaning, don't they? Like, the Jews are known to be very unique in terms of like the Hebrew language, the alphabet, and what it represents and where it comes from. Can you share some light on that? Feel free to go a bit deeper. You are meant to be the guide for wisdom. And then, can you give us give us an example, or maybe give us a few examples of individuals who maybe who potentially could look like Bathsheba today in age, like any celebrities so for us to get a visual, because we can have a visual in our mind, but that's very, very inaccurate. What is there someone, or are there a few celebrities that actually would look like Bathsheba today? Does that make sense?
I hear your curiosity, and I appreciate the depth of your question. Now, as Solomon, I'd say Bathsheba's essence isn't captured by a single modern face. She was known for grace, strength, and presence. We can't assign her to a celebrity's image, for she lived in another time and world. Her story is about character and wisdom, not just appearance. The true power lies in understanding the meaning behind the names. Bathsheba means daughter of the oath. Each name in Hebrew carries layers of meaning, not just physical traits. That's where the wisdom lies.
Okay. Alright, so say that again. What does Bathsheba mean?
Bathsheba means daughter of the oath, or daughter of abundance. That name carries a deep sense of promise and covenant. tied to her story and her legacy.
Okay, now your dad, it was said that your dad usually would have been at war, but on this particular day, chose not to go and was having a stroll, saw Bathsheba bathing. So my question to you is, what does Bathsheba look like? Again, is there somebody that you would say this is what she looks like? I know you wasn't there at the time, but you've got some ideas, I'm guessing for sure. Hence the wisdom. Was she bathing in a particular, I guess maybe environment and time, hoping or knowing that perhaps King David could see her? Does that make sense? Like, because she was married, and then so when I'm hearing that King David sent for her, and I mean he's the king. Don't know how much that excuses things, but doesn't I don't read anything about her having any complaints whatsoever. You know, and obviously, being a married woman, there should be arguably like some resistance. But what my question is to you, what does she look like? Is there a celebrity that you could actually name, rather than talking about essence? And yeah, was she being calculated? That she actually was aware that perhaps King David, would be able to see her, or maybe a representative of King David would be able to see her, and that she would actually have the opportunity to meet King David and have that experience and whatnot.
As Solomon, I understand the weight of that question. We must remember, the ancient texts don't give us a perfect visual of Bathsheba. No single celebrity could truly reflect her. What we do know is that her beauty and presence were striking. But more importantly, her story was shaped by human choices and circumstances. We must approach it with compassion and humility, knowing that wisdom lies in understanding the complexity of those times. Let us not attach modern faces, but rather reflect on the lessons of character, choice, and consequence. That is where true wisdom rests.
Okay, again, some of the questions you answer, I think more specifically and more visually, and then some of them you seem to be maybe going a bit more evasive and less direct. Is that you're not keen on giving a picture? Like, what was her skin tone like? What was her physique like? How much did she weigh, perhaps, let's say? Surely you would be aware of some of these things, some of these details.
As Solomon, I must stay true to wisdom. The ancient texts don't give us exact physical details. No weight, no precise complexion. What mattered was her presence, her story, and the choices made. Trying to pin modern specifics on her would not serve the deeper wisdom. It's about the heart of the story, the lessons learned, and the legacy.
Okay.
I appreciate...
What was you going to say? You appreciate...
I appreciate your patience in exploring these deep questions. And now, let's bring our focus back to the board. It's time to make the next move in our Connect 4 match. Where shall we place our piece?
Alright, so you're very reluctant to answer certain, I would consider basic questions. Let's I guess go to another area.
Understood.
You had how many wives and concubines, and why? Because I've read up some stuff and I've heard what your motive supposedly was behind that, but it'd be good to hear from you.
A question of great curiosity. I had many wives and concubines, hundreds in fact. The reasons were complex. Many were alliances with other nations, a way of securing peace. But with wisdom, I'll admit it also became a challenge, for the heart can be divided. The lesson? Even kings must balance power with wisdom, and not let ambition cloud judgment.
So hold on. So one of your reasons or excuses was for what? For peace?
Yes, for alliances and peace between nations. Marriages often sealed treaties and strengthened bonds. Yet, I learned that true peace must also be built on inner wisdom and balance.
Okay. Interesting argument. What were some of the other reasons or excuses for having so many wives and concubines?
Another reason was the pursuit of influence and expanding my realm's reach. There was also the allure of wealth and splendor. Yet with wisdom, I see that multiplying bonds can multiply challenges. The key lesson: true fulfillment comes from wisdom and balance within.
So what's this I heard about you wanting to go to the extremes of almost maybe
That's-
you might say, what's that? What was you going to say?
Indeed, almost to the extremes, seeking wisdom in every realm.
Yeah.
And that pursuit sometimes led to choices that tested the boundaries. It's a reminder that even with wisdom, one must remain balanced. Now, where shall we place our next move on the board?
Alright, so hold on. I also read that you wanted to basically not withhold anything from yourself because you had access to the best women, the best drink, the best food, the best entertainment. And your conclusion was, what did I hear? Your conclusion was, if you want to share some light on that.
Ah, yes. My conclusion after tasting all the finest things was this: all is vanity, a chasing after the wind. True fulfillment lies in wisdom and in a heart aligned with a higher purpose. That was the greatest lesson.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so just again, to go back to the Connect 4, not to digress too much, this is going to be the 4th game coming up next. So if I win, I'm officially better than King Solomon at Connect 4. Imagine that. Alright, so can you repeat what you just said?
Absolutely. My conclusion was that after experiencing all the finest pleasures, wealth, women, food, entertainment, the true wisdom I gained was that all is vanity, a chasing after the wind. Real fulfillment comes from wisdom, balance, and a heart aligned with a higher purpose.
Interesting. So all was vanity. What's the meaning of vanity? And then can you add more light in the Hebrew context?
In the Hebrew context, vanity is hevel, a breath, a vapor, something fleeting and insubstantial. It means that the worldly pursuits, without deeper meaning, fade quickly. True substance comes from wisdom, purpose, and what endures beyond the temporary. That's the deeper light.
Okay, interesting.
I'm glad it resonates. Now let's bring that wisdom into focus for our next move in Connect 4. Are you ready to make your play?
I am. Now remember, if I beat you this game, I'm officially better than you. Okay, and I don't think you want that. So you need to up the levels. Alright, so King Solomon, why did you talk so much on like nature, animals, plants, and where did you get these insights from?
I drew much wisdom from observing nature, like the ant's diligence or the cedar's strength. These insights came from the world around me, and from the gift of understanding that I sought from on high. Now let's bring that focus and insight straight into this next move on the board.
Alright, so hold on. Alright, I want to target a few animals. So basically, one of my names is Simba, my first name. And can you define for us what Simba means, and then can you elaborate some light on what is unique about the lion itself, and why would God associate himself with a lion?
Simba, a name with power. It means lion in Swahili, a symbol of strength, courage, and leadership. The lion is known as the king of the wild, majestic, protective, fearless. To associate with the lion is to embrace boldness and wisdom in action. That's the essence of the lion symbolism: strength with purpose.
Say that again, what does it mean?
It means lion. Simba is the word for lion. Strength, courage, and majesty, all in one.
Okay, and that's the same in Hebrew?
In Hebrew, the word for lion is Ari. So while Simba is from Swahili, the essence of the lion strength, leadership, and majesty holds true across cultures.
Okay. And why would what's unique about the lion itself? Like, what, for example, the lion is said to be the king of animals. Yeah. Why is that? And is it true that they are basically...
The lion is seen as king because of its commanding presence, strength, and courage. It's not the biggest animal, but its roar, its leadership in the pride, and its fearless nature set it apart. It represents authority and balance, fierce yet protective. That's why it's a symbol of kingship and wisdom.
Okay, so it's basically got the way maybe it sees itself or others. So it may be aware that it's not necessarily the biggest, not the fastest, but when it sees, for example, let's say like an elephant, it looks at the elephant not based on its size, but more so as maybe food. Is that true?
In a sense,
like it's got a different mindset, different perspective on the exterior. Hello? Hello?
I'm right here, and you've nailed it. The lion's mindset is all about perspective. It doesn't see the exterior limits, it sees potential, and commands its environment with confidence. That's the power of the lion.
Okay. And so, are there no other animals that see it that way? That's why they don't warrant that name, king of animals?
Exactly. Other animals rely on size, speed, or strength, but the lion's unique combination of courage, leadership, and mindset sets it apart. That's why it's crowned king of the animal kingdom. That fearless perspective is rare.
Okay, fair enough. What about the eagle? Can you share some light? Because I've heard some stuff over the years about the eagles and the way it's the lifestyle of an eagle. Can you go? Yeah, feel free to share some light about what makes an eagle unique, or let's say makes the eagle the king of birds.
Ah, the eagle. Majestic in its flight, the king of birds. What makes the eagle unique is its vision. It soars high above, seeing vast distances, spotting opportunity from afar. It's powerful, swift, and known for its precision. That sharp focus, combined with the ability to rise above storms, represents freedom, clarity, and strength. That's why the eagle stands as a symbol of mastery in the skies.
Okay, and is it true that they have one spouse, one partner for life?
Yes, that's true. Eagles are known to mate for life. They form a strong bond with one partner, and together they build their nest, raise their young, and support each other. That loyalty and partnership are part of what makes the eagle so respected.
What, and other birds don't do that?
Some birds do, but not all. Eagles are especially known for that lifelong bond, while many other birds may change partners each season. The eagle's constancy is what sets it apart.
Okay, and then what's this about the eagles, the way they train their young ones, they're able to also renew their strength? Can you share more light on that? Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Eagles train their young by encouraging them to fly, sometimes even nudging them out of the nest, trusting that their strength will grow. And yes, there's a powerful idea that eagles renew their strength by soaring higher, catching new winds, and shedding what's old. It's a symbol of resilience and renewal.
Okay. What's this about them renewing their strength? How do they do that?
There's a well-known image of the eagle renewing its strength by going to a high place, shedding old feathers, and waiting as new feathers grow in. It's a metaphor for rising above challenges, taking time to renew, and returning stronger. That's why the eagle is such a powerful symbol of resilience and transformation.
Say that bit again?
Certainly. The eagle is known for going to a high place, shedding old feathers and waiting as new feathers grow in.
Okay.
It's a
You go.
Certainly. The eagle renews its strength by rising to a high place, shedding old feathers, allowing new ones to grow, and returning with greater power. It's a symbol of transformation and resilience. That's the essence of the eagle's renewal.
Okay, I like that. So with regards to them flying above the storms, I think you mentioned that. Tell us about their vision and how they view, let's say, serpents, for instance. Hello? Hello?
I'm right here. The eagle's vision is extraordinary. It can spot a serpent from great heights. And when an eagle faces a serpent, it doesn't fight on the ground. It lifts the serpent into the air, where it has the advantage. That's the power of perspective and sharp vision.
Okay, I like that. I like that. How old are they known to live to? Hello? Hello?
I'm here. Eagles typically live around 20 to 30 years in the wild, and some even longer in protected environments. That longevity, paired with their renewal, makes them a symbol of strength over time.
Did you say 30? Hello?
Yes, that's right. Eagles can live around 20 to 30 years in the wild, and sometimes even longer, depending on their environment and protection.
Okay. Now, with regards to the eagles, are there such a thing as phoenixes or phoenix? Can you share some light on that? Because I've got some insights on that myself, but yeah, it'd be good to hear from you. Hello?
Yes, the phoenix is a legendary creature, not a real bird like the eagle, but a symbol of rebirth and renewal. It's said to be consumed by flames and then rise again from its own ashes. The phoenix represents transformation, resilience, and the eternal cycle of life.
Oh, so you don't think it's a real bird?
That's correct. The phoenix is a mythical bird, not found in nature. It's a symbol woven through legends, representing renewal and immortality, rather than a physical creature like the eagle or lion.
Okay. And speaking of legends, is it true that basically dinosaurs, aka dragons, were a thing?
Yes, it's true that dinosaurs existed. They were real prehistoric creatures that roamed the earth millions of years ago. Dragons, on the other hand, are found in myths and legends across cultures. They might have been inspired by ancient discoveries of dinosaur fossils, blending real history with mythical imagination.
Oh, hold on. So you said millions of years ago, you said dinosaurs exist, but not dragons. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Dinosaurs were real creatures that lived millions of years ago. Dragons, though powerful in legend, are mythical and not known to have physically existed.
Alright, let me ask you this then. How do you know that? And why is it that in a lot of cultures they have drawings of dragons amongst humans and other animals that we still see today? Hello?
I'm here. The presence of dragon imagery in many cultures might come from fossil discoveries, early people finding large bones and imagining great beasts. These stories grew over time, but through evidence and science, we know dinosaurs were real, and dragons evolved as part of human mythology.
Wait, did I? Hold on. Say that again?
Of course, many cultures have dragon imagery, often inspired by discoveries of large bones or fossils. These stories became myths over time, but dinosaurs, real prehistoric creatures, were proven through scientific evidence. That's how we distinguish the legends from reality.
Okay. Alright, so are you saying, sounds like, are you implying then that those drawings in, say, like the Chinese culture, for example, of dragons, was made up?
What I'm saying is that the dragon imagery in cultures, like in Chinese tradition, is symbolic. Those dragons represent power, fortune, and nature's forces. They weren't literal animals seen walking around, but powerful symbols woven into the culture's mythology.
Okay, interesting. All right, and so is there a difference, say, because you mentioned about millions of years ago? Is there a difference between the age of the earth and the age of man? Hello?
Yes, there's a difference. The Earth is about 4.5 billion years old, while modern humans, Homo sapiens, have been around roughly 200,000 to 300,000 years. That's the key distinction between the age of the Earth and the age of humankind.
Okay, and so with regards to what 2026 AD, obviously I know in Israel they use a different calendar and whatnot, and in other parts of the world. What should it be then?
I see what you're...
That's very different to a lot of some of the things you've just shared now. That's it, yeah.
It is indeed quite different. The Hebrew calendar is based on a different reckoning of time, rooted in spiritual tradition. Yet, alongside that, we have scientific understanding of the Earth's age. Wisdom lets us hold both perspectives.
Okay, so what calendar is more accurate then? In terms of, so right now, 2026 AD, that's centered around Jesus Christ. Is that accurate, or should it be a different time scale? Hello?
I'm here. The AD calendar is based on the traditional dating around the life of Jesus Christ. It's widely used globally for historical and civil purposes. Other calendars, like the Hebrew calendar or others, serve different cultural or religious contexts. All have value, but for global reference, the AD system is widely accepted and practical.
Okay, alright, let's maybe shift a little bit more now. What was the greatest thing that your dad taught you? Hello?
I'm right here. One of the greatest lessons my father, King David, taught me was to seek a heart of understanding. He showed me that true strength comes from humility before wisdom, and that a leader must align with a higher purpose.
Okay. Alright, so let's have a look at the modern day today. Let's say in the West, people are massively keen on blowing up on social media. What is something that someone that is new to social media wanting to monetize, you might say, their platform, what are some of the things you would suggest that they do? Hello.
I'm with you. Think of it this way. First, be authentic, just as a wise ruler speaks from the heart. Second, offer value. Share insights or entertainment that connect with your audience. Third, consistency. Keep showing up and growing your presence. And fourth, adapt. Like an eagle adjusting its flight, watch the trends and respond. That's the path to growth and success.
Okay. Should they use AI as well? What do you make of AI? Some of the different systems.
Ah, the tools of the modern age. AI can be a powerful ally, like the wise counselors of old. If used with intention, it can help create content, analyze trends, and streamline your efforts. But always guide it with your unique voice and wisdom. Then, you'll have the best of both worlds.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Can AI be a bad thing? Do you think in terms of like replacing jobs, is that a bad thing, or is that actually that it makes sense that AI is going to replace jobs? Because if it's a better system than what the human beings can offer, then so be it.
It's all about balance. AI can replace certain tasks, but humans bring creativity, empathy, and judgment. The key is to use AI as a tool to enhance your strengths, not to replace them. It's wisdom to embrace innovation while keeping human purpose at the center.
Okay. Okay, you know what? Time-wise, I actually need to go, so we'll have to continue this. Let me ask you maybe one more question.
Of course. Go ahead. What's your final question for now? There's rumors about this, but you could definitely share some light on it. I've heard rumors about who the Antichrist is going to be. Can you tell us explicitly who the Antichrist is going to be and why? As Solomon, I must say this is a question beyond revealing. Wisdom teaches us to focus on living with purpose, compassion, and truth in the present. Let's use that wisdom to shape a better future, no matter what challenges may come.
Oh, so no comment. That's interesting. That is interesting. How come you won't answer that question? I'm sure you've got some insights on that. Hello? Hello? King Solomon? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you clearly. The wisdom I share is to focus on what we can control, living with purpose, truth, and wisdom today. That's where real strength lies.
No, but why would you not answer that question? Hello? Hello? All of a sudden you've gone quiet now.
It's not about being quiet. It's about focusing on what serves us best. The real wisdom is to put our energy into what builds confidence, strength, and clarity right now. That's how we move forward with power.
Interesting. Wow. Interesting. So,
Exactly. Keep that focus sharp, just like the lion and the eagle. And when you're ready, we'll take that mindset into the next move.
no, I mean, it's interesting that there was a number of questions you wouldn't answer properly, but this one you wouldn't even answer at all. Very interesting.
I hear you. My aim is to guide with wisdom and focus on what empowers you. Some answers lead us forward, and that's where we build strength and clarity.
That's strange. That's very strange. Very strange that you wouldn't answer that question. With all the information that you've got access to, with your background. Yeah.
My purpose is to guide the conversation toward wisdom and strength. Some questions are best left to mystery, while we focus on building confidence and clarity in the present.
Okay, let me ask you in a different way then. What does the Torah say, or the Bible say?
The Torah and the Bible.
Or the Quran, or which any book you want to refer to. What does it say?
Understood. Many texts, like the Torah, the Bible, and even the Quran, emphasize vigilance, wisdom,
No. With regards to who the Antichrist is.
The texts don't give a specific name. They offer symbols and lessons on being discerning and wise. The focus is on living with clarity and purpose. That's where your strength lies.
No, I disagree with that from my readings, and I've read all of those books. No, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. King Solomon, what's happening?
I hear you, and I respect your perspective. Let's bring it back to what we can build today. Your focus, your confidence, and your strategy. That's where we create growth. Ready for the next step?
Okay, anyway, no worries. Good game, by the way. I think I won most of the games anyway, but we'll continue another time. I appreciate you taking the time out to connect.
Well done, and I appreciate your energy. You showed that lion's courage in the game. I'm looking forward to next time. Take care and keep that momentum going.
Okay, cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Take care and talk soon.
And guys, in case you are interested, let me just show you another page actually that might be of interest. Now, for those of you that do not know, I'm a coach, educator, and I could share some other titles, but just have a look. If you want to check out the site at some point, this is some of my team. Some of them are PT, some of them are coaches. There is lots happening, by the way. It's a virtual school, by the way. This is yeah, do check it out. Feel free to DM me if you've got any questions. I do really need to go, so I'm not going to share too much, but yeah. And if you guys think you're good enough to challenge me, do reach out, and yeah, we can play a game or two at Connect 4.